talk me through like where you was before Envision to then the results now with obviously February being your biggest month and you're absolutely smashing it now. So talk me through like where you've been.
Well, my journey, like I say, from the real beginning, my journey began about 7 years ago. I was in uni, came across Forex, so I've from an IT background. So just one day in the lab, we were just actually coding up Euro USD. Never seen Forex in my life, no clue what it was. Obviously, everyone's heard of stocks and all the movies online and stuff, and I kind of got interested in it. And when everyone sees it first, they're straight away they're like, oh, make money. And that's the one thing you see straight away, you make money. And obviously, as a student, I was like, okay, try and make some money out of it. Not the best but mindset, but I guess that's the way I started off. And yeah, I got sucked into signals straight away. And so blew €500 down straight away, gone after like 2 weeks. So, but I joined. Uh, I joined one or two communities trying to find. I got the interest in it, and I kind of wanted to get better, and so I joined a couple of communities. Didn't really work out. Didn't really like what I was seeing. Then eventually, I joined one community, and they had a fairly good enough background in terms of like some of the traders in there were quite good, and they did show they're the winners, but never got any P&Ls or any of that kind of stuff. But they had good psychology, so got a good foundation. So for the first actually 2 3 years, I wanted after I blew the signal the €500 first for the signals, I kind of okay I want to do this properly. So the first 2 3 years I actually didn't do any trading, did a bit of demo trading, but I was put my head down on the baby pips as everyone does, and obviously with that community and try to learn from the basics. And yeah, like that did that for a while. Then after about maybe 3.5 years, I decided to. Obviously, I didn't do a personal account because that's back then. It was like went into FTMO straight away, and which wasn't the best way to go. And as you always say, you always say to us, start a personal account, get that track record, start it up. But I didn't do it that way, and I kind of fluked. I got funded by FTMO. Probably fluked it, to be honest. The first month I got 10% in the space of a week and a half, and then got funded, and then didn't hold on. Held on to the account for maybe I say about 6 months, but I got my money back alright. But I didn't have the proper structure behind me. Um, I didn't backtest anything. I had no trading journal, so I wasn't learning from my mistakes. I suppose I had somewhat of of the skills. I had the eye for trading, I guess, because I come from a tech background. I'm pretty good with pattern recognition, and back then it was mostly patterns. I traded head and shoulders, flags, the kind of normal things, trend lines, and yeah. So after a while, then blew that account, and This is probably after maybe 4 years, 5 years, and then I decided, okay, I was a student at the time. I was just finishing my degree, and I had no job. Basically, I was just kind of living. I was working in a part-time job. I was doing a bit of coaching, also I was so I'm black belt in martial arts, so I was doing a bit of coaching in the background, making a small bit of money, but not an awful lot. So decided to pursue my career to get a proper financial, be stable basically financially, and then come back to it when I eventually had that. I guess 6 months rainy day fund and being comfortable with money. So then I had about maybe just under 3 years. Then I was just really putting my head down, worked pretty hard with my job, and got into different companies. And now I'm a cloud engineer. So I kind of progressed in that. And then last year, then I decided, okay, it's time to come back. I still always follow the charts, but never properly. No, I didn't trade anything. I had no account set up or anything. Still always wants to get back. Kind of procrastinated for a while of getting back into it. But then about around this time last year, actually, I decided, okay. So I went back into it. First thing I did actually go online and kind of like look up ICT and kind of got to watch a couple of his videos, and like a lot of his content is pretty good, but they're obviously hard to follow. So I kind of realized I needed the structure, I needed guidance. I thought to myself, okay, maybe I can do this by myself, but um, that's not the case. You need a bit of you need a community. You need people around you that you can learn from, and you can any mistakes you make. You need someone to tell you, like you can see maybe you make a mistake and you recognize a mistake, but do you actually fix it, or so. With yourself, Thomas and Elliot, one of the big things is, I've showed my trades, and you're like, maybe you could have done this better, or maybe, kind of have a look in the higher time frame. Are you actually in the right, direction, bias terms? And so, yeah, so then obviously I joined Envision then around September last year. For the first about, I say, 2.5 months, put my head down, learned some vision technicals, basically stripped away everything. I still had that foundation. I can read a chart, I had support and resistance, candlesticks. I knew all the basics, which probably helped me a lot. So yeah, so learned the vision technicals. As I said, followed your markups every week, your market breakdowns. Did all the coaching calls with Elliot, which I highly recommend. Is probably what's one of my favorite things in Envision is the coaching calls every Wednesday with Elliot, because he's very knowledgeable, really nice guy, and he's straightforward. He tell you, like, if you ask him a question, he tell you straight out. There's no fluff with him, which you need. And so, and then obviously you have your monthly masterminds, and then obviously the journal review every month. So then I started putting in my journals, and obviously picked up a lot of tips, and been able to correct a lot of mistakes I'm making. Probably one of the biggest things I have is my trade frequency is quite high. So that's one of the main things I want to look for, more quality over quantity. But yeah, so then eventually around, I say December, I started my personal account, which again, a lot of communities they tell you, like, they don't tell you, like, you preach that so much to all of us to start a personal account first. Why would you go straight into a challenge? Why would you not, with FTMO or any kind of funded challenge, you're not going to have a track record because it wipes after, like, after that account is finished. So that's one of the biggest things that I found I got from Envision was start my personal account, build that track record. So the first month in December I started, did actually do quite well. Did I think I came out with 10% that month. Then New Year this year, Q1, I did about 31%. So I did a really big month in February. I did 16%, which it was it was a very good month. Learned a lot. Obviously the ROI was very good, but it was more down to, like, okay, this gave me more confidence to know that I can do this. I have the skill set. I have I have the backing of the community. The community is very close knit. You make a lot of friends there, and obviously with yourselves, the coaches, you help us a lot too, and making friends with yourselves too. We did a lot. Did met you first time in Belfast. I can't remember exactly. I think it was actually last October. So I met you all first back then. But yeah, so after the Q1 has gone very well for me. And the first month in Q2 in April, I did another 7%. So going pretty well for me. I'm just trading one pair, GJ at the moment. So probably one of the biggest things with Vision 2 is you trade GJ also. So I was able to see from your lens how you look at GJ and how you trade it. Because, like, obviously every pair has their own personality and how they move, and how to learn that. So that's the main reasons why I only stuck with one pair, because I wanted to master the one pair. I don't see the point of having a load of pairs, 5 or 6 pairs, and trying to trade a load of pairs where you don't actually know how they properly move. If I'm trading one pair, I know how it moves. I know, the weekly cycle. If it's going to create the high of the week or low of the week, depending on the direction. this daily cycle also, and you just know when it likes to flush down. What does that mean? That kind of a lot of people don't understand that with GJ why it does that, and that's something I learned from you. And yeah, so and this month is going pretty well for me too. I'm up around 5.5% this month. So it's you could say a bit slower than previous months, but it's still a really good month. And as I said, I've started a funded account at FTMO this month and up just over 2% at the moment. Taking it nice and slow, and yeah, everything's going pretty well so far. And yeah, may continue.
Good, absolutely solid, and it's good to see you smashing it. And like we said before, you have a lot of potential. It's just about knuckling down on the small little things now. Get that trade frequency down as you have, and you're approaching funded accounts, which is your next step now to then scale accounts and multiple accounts. And you've got the personal account. You've done it the right way. You haven't come in and rushed and oh, I want to do it in 2 weeks. You've done it slowly and steadily. Get the basics down, build on your fundamentals that you already had before Envision, and then suddenly it's no surprise you've had an amazing Q1 finishing on 30+%, your biggest month in there. You're already up Q2 nicely well, even in May the same. And it's like, it's no surprise. So when you reverse engineer the results, it's like you've put the work in, you've give it time, you've showed up every single day, you've done the work, and now the results are starting to really come in, and you've been consistent for a while now, which is great. What would you say, to finish off, what would you say the best thing for you about Envision is? Like, is it the journal reviews? Is it the coaching calls? Is it the market breakdowns? Is it a combination of everything? Like, what is it for you that makes Envision stand out amongst everyone else?
Well, as I say, it's a bit of everything. If I have to pick a few things that bring a lot of value to me that I enjoy, would be the market breakdowns at the weekend that you do, the markups every morning. The coaching calls with Elliot, as I mentioned earlier, highly valuable. It's just it's like we get like a mini podcast at the start of the week or at the middle of the week that we can ask questions and we can actually talk in the podcast, and if any questions at all, you can you learn a lot from it. As I said previously, Elliot is a very knowledgeable person, very easy to talk to, and he tell you, if you explain anything to him, he'll tell you straight out. He's been around it for long enough to have that experience. And I like also the community itself. Like obviously you have the vision technicals and now you have the mastery too. So the technicals, highly recommend anyone to start off with that and then go on to the mastery. The mastery is it's another level. It's it kind of opens your eyes up to a lot of things. And it's probably it's one of the most important course modules that I've done. Because as I said before, I had the basics foundation of technicals, but obviously I needed that structure. When I came into Envision was to get that structure, and that was the guidance. And obviously you have the journal reviews too. So I needed that. Need to get kind of that improvement with my journal to actually start doing a proper journal and to learn from my mistakes. And Envision provides all that, provides a template for a journal and provides a template for back testing. So I just needed that structure, that little push, helping hand to get that all done. But the journal reviews are all it's also a very important aspect in Envision because it you kind of like you strip it down. We give our journal obviously we're like we're kind of being slightly exposed. We're shown you all our trades and our thought processes. Obviously, we have our own trade psychology, and some of the things we might write in it are kind of personal, but it is what it is. Because I think that's really important to actually write down how you're feeling when you enter a trade, during a trade. Like there's because you need to kind of like you need to capture that and to understand it. Because if you have say a bad day and you don't have any write down how you're feeling, you can't see any patterns there, so you know where you can learn from that. You might have a bad day and you're reading back in your journal and you're like, okay, I was feeling whatever emotion that you're feeling, and okay, maybe next time if that happens I'll just close the laptop and walk away. You kind of help in that. So yeah, the journal reviews help a lot, immensely. You learn a lot. you you're kind of you're going through every trade. You're giving us a summary. You're kind of like telling us what we did well and what we did wrong, like, or what we can do better, I should say better, like, that really does help us a lot. 'Cause I've been in a good few communities. I've never had any community that does journal reviews. Like no one goes out of their way to like I'm sure it takes you a long time to go through all the journal reviews and read through every journal, every trade, and not many communities, if any communities, do that. And if they did, they probably, it'd be an additional cost to anyone. Like a lot of stuff that you do in the Envision is, you have everything together. Like it would cost other people a lot more to do that and give your time, because obviously you have your own life and everyone has their own life and your personal life and your trading too and your other things that you do. So it's yeah, everything comes together. The community then as I said previously, there's no egos in the community. Everyone helps. Everyone's there to help each other. There's no one showing like how much they made and this and that. Like they're coming in with an analysis. They're like reasoning behind the trades. Everyone is down to their people. And as I said previously, they're friends that you can make. Because I know, with Sam, he's from Ireland, so I've kind of myself and Sam have built. He's my accountability partner. And we've kind of we've built a friendship relationship with trading. And so you can make them. And I've seen other people in the group too that they're meeting up each other, different parts of England or wherever they may be, and they're building that relationship and they're becoming accountability partners, which is also another very, very important thing to have is have accountability. Yeah, like the journal reviews is great too, but having that extra accountability, you know, is highly valuable to any trader at all.
Mm, that's it. The journal reviews are really the gems, and then coaching calls as well are absolutely phenomenal. It really gives you that tailored guidance as you go on, week by week. It's not just a course. It's not just, something that you just learn from. You've got that ongoing mentorship, which again is really important in everyone's journey. You need sometimes that not so much a helping hand, but you just someone to observe and then to correct you and just course correct. Because at times you're going to go off the path, and it's just a matter of just bringing you back on the path and then to the path of success. But yeah, great to hear the story, Jamie, and thank you for jumping on with me. And it's good to see the success you've had so far. And I'm very excited about where you're going to be at the end of the year and coming into 2026 as well. You have a big future ahead and a big year ahead. So thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your time and all the help that you did. It's great to have someone who actually cares as a coach. You don't get that too often. So no, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.